This story about Brian Williams is fascinating to me for so many reasons. If you haven't followed it, and it's just really starting to explode, in a nutshell, Brian Williams was sort of caught red-handed, having lied for years about an incident involving the military and his coverage of the military. And it's actually a pretty simple story. It's not complicated. In a nutshell, Brian Williams has repeatedly lied, and there is no nice way to say this, lied about being on a helicopter that was under fire. And the lie has been repeated much to the chagrin of troops who he was with. This had to do with an incident in the Iraq War 12 years ago. And yesterday, last night, on the NBC Nightly News, Brian Williams issued an apology. Now, let me just give you the facts as they've been reported all over the place about this Brian Williams lie. He was never in a helicopter that was under fire. He was never in a helicopter hit by an RPG a few times, even though he's been telling that story for more than a decade. And in fact, he was an hour away from some helicopters that were under fire. An hour away. An hour after it happened, Brian Williams, the helicopter that Brian Williams was on, landed near the damaged helicopters. So it's not even a close call. He just lied about this. And according to Stars and Stripes and according to all these different publications and news media organizations, there have been others who have been aware of this lie and have been angrier and angrier and angrier about this. And finally, the truth came out. Stars and Stripes has reported that this has been a lie that he's been telling. So last night, he apologized. So now you know the background. He now has to come clean, right? He's going to say, I lied. I'm ashamed. This is awful that I said this. I mean, right? This is what you would think he would say in his apology. Here's what his apology sounded like.
On this broadcast last week, in an effort to honor and thank a veteran who protected me and so many others after a ground fire incident in the desert during the Iraq War invasion, I made a mistake in recalling the events of 12 years ago. It did not take long to hear from some brave men and women in the air crews who were also in that desert. I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft. We all landed after the ground fire incident and spent 2 harrowing nights in a sandstorm in the Iraq desert. This was a bungled attempt by me to thank one special veteran and, by extension, our brave military men and women, veterans everywhere, those who have served while I did not. I hope they know they have my greatest respect, and also now my apology.
Now, first of all, let's look at the apology for a moment. He says, in my effort to thank a member of the armed forces. So in other words, his interpretation of his lie has been, I was trying to be such a good guy that I was thanking a brave member of the military. No, how does you lying about being under fire thank another member of the military? Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me whatsoever.